Jordan Brand's marketing team is impeccable. It was just last year that they announced that they were going to stop production of the Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows. And then we had news that we had a couple more colorways coming out this year. Now, we've got news recently of 3 new colorways coming out next year. Were they lying? Or were they just teasing us? Let's talk about it.
OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan. The other sneaker YouTubers, the hell are boring. OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan. I got sneakers, raining and pouring.
What up, YouTube? OG Trap Jordan, back with another one, and back with some news about the Travis Scott 1 lows. So, like I was saying, it was last year when they announced that they were going to stop production of the Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows. And then, of course, we got news about this year, dropping some new silhouettes. We all know that in a couple of days here on the 25th, we got the Canaries, aka the Elkins, coming out with 150,000 supposed pairs being released. We've also heard the rumors about them being backdoored. And we also have the Black Olives coming out. I think that's in September. So obviously they weren't done, and by good reason. They're very popular, very hard to get, very sought after, and why would Jordan Brand leave money on the table like that? So let's talk about it a little bit, and then we'll get into the new Travis Scott ones that are coming out, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I want to talk a little bit about marketing and why Jordan Brand doesn't want to leave this silhouette alone. Obviously, Travis Scott is a moneymaker. He's the golden goose of Jordan Brand right now. I mean, we all know that Jordan Brand loves to take a popular silhouette and oversaturate it until it's almost played out, and then people start hating on it. We had the ones, used to be very, very popular. With good reason. It's the original, it's a classic silhouette, and who doesn't love a classic Jordan 1? So those got pretty played out, and then Travis Scott comes along and, you know, he starts pumping out Jordans, he starts pushing them, and people go crazy for him. And to be honest with you, I love Jordan 1s, and I also love the Jordan 1 lows, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows. I've never gotten my hands on them, and I try for every release that comes out, and I really want a pair of them. And so I'm going to shoot my shot for these Canaries, I'm going to shoot my shot for the Olives, and if I don't get them, I'm just going to keep going because I'm not paying that resale. I just don't want to do it. But I do want to talk about their marketing strategy, and I want to talk about oversaturation of the market and stuff like that. So basically, I mean, let's look at some past things that have happened when you oversaturate a market. Let's talk about, this is a little bit irrelevant, but it's very relevant. Back in the day, you had a big craze of Beanie Babies. They became very popular, and people were buying them and reselling them. And I recently watched a documentary that was really interesting about that, how the guy that created the Beanie Babies, or the company behind it, decided at one point that they were going to just stop production of them, and people went crazy and bought them up, and they sold out super fast. But what happened with that was the demand was so big that they came back out with them, and they didn't have the same results. Sometimes you can oversaturate a market and you can play out your product, but I do think the Jordan Brand is very smart. I do think that they know what they're doing. They've been doing this for 40 years next year, so they obviously got a good strategy of what they're doing, and we're still buying them. But I think this is kind of similar in a way, and it also reminds me of back in the day when certain rappers would be very famous and very popular, and they would announce their retirement and sell a few million CDs because it was the last CD they were going to drop, only to return a couple years later and drop another album. But that kind of seems like a similar thing that's going on with these. But they're super popular, and like I said, they're not going to leave money on the table. We got the Canaries coming out, and we got the Olives coming out. The Olives are really nice. They're very similar to the OG Mochas, and I think those are going to do very, very well. It's yet to be seen what the Canaries are going to do, but those will probably be sold out. They'll probably still be hard to get. We'll see what the resale is on those. Those are nice. I'd like to get my hands on them. But yeah, we got news just recently that we have a 3 new pairs coming out. Supposedly at this point they're slated for a not a September release, but a spring release of 2025. So we got just the other day a velvet brown, dark mocha and black velvet brown, which is gonna be, like I said, in the spring of 2025. I think we've only had mock-ups of that, and from what I've seen, it's a pretty nice looking shoe, and it's definitely gonna sell out. It's definitely gonna be another popular one. But we also just recently got news on 2 other colorways. So we've got a men's version, which is sail, shy pink, and muslin. That's the men's version. We have mock-ups right here, as you can see, and who knows if this is what they're going to look like. They might look completely different, but they're definitely going to be popular. And then we have a women's, which is dark pony and pink Oxford. So I don't know, even with a pink one, if that's a woman's colorway, I'm pretty sure that the men are going to go after these. Honestly, I'm not a pink guy myself. I'll probably try to go after them and get my hands on them. Like I said, it's yet to be seen what they're going to actually look like. This is just a mock-up at this point. But Jordan Brand knows what they're doing. They got a popular silhouette, and they're going to squeeze every penny out of it. So that's the news. It's not over yet. And with that raises a question for me, though. Whatever happened to the Travis Scott 1 highs? I like those. I like the originals, the OGs, the mochas, and I like the fragments. So I don't know if they just weren't that popular or what's going on with that, or maybe the lows are just super popular. Obviously lows are the wave right now. Everybody's jumping on the low craze, and I get it. Lows are nice, they're easy to put on, they're comfortable, they're a good summer vibe. And obviously these shoes that are slated for next year in the spring, perfect time to drop some lows, perfect time to drop these colorways. So what do y'all think about it? Do you think these are going to get oversaturated? Do you think the hype will ever die? Do you think they're going to keep going? At one point, do you think they'll be easier to get your hands on them? That's the question that I think about. Like, will we ever actually be able to walk into a store and just grab a Travis Scott 1 for retail? Will they ever get played out? Is this a marketing strategy by them telling us they were going to stop and then they decided to keep going? Or was it just, you know what, backed by popular demand? I don't know, but that's the news. We got these new colorways dropping, and I'm excited to see if these mock-ups are close, and I'm really excited to see if one of these days, if I ever get my hands on one of these. So only time will tell. If the Travis Scott 1 lows are going to get played out, are they going to continue to be a big breadwinner for Jordan Brand? We'll see, but obviously they ain't gonna stop anytime soon. So with that being said, OG Trap Jordan, and signing off one more again, and I'm out of here. Peace.